So I'm having a chat with Jethro Sheeran. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thanks for having me on the show.
That's all right. Not too bad, and a pleasure. But let's kick off and have a little chat about your latest single, "Raise Them Up." Tell us about the single.
Well, it's myself, Alonestar Sheeran, featuring my cousin Ed Sheeran, and UK artist called Trunkie. It's called "Raise Them Up." Recently been played on Radio 1 and 1 Extra by Mr. Jam, which was amazing, and it hit the #1 spot in the UK rap and hip hop charts, and #6 in all genres and categories. So I'm chuffed as hell. We've got a lyric video out, and it's produced by Herbert Skills from Uganda, and it's got an Afrobeat hip hop kind of feel to it. So it's doing great numbers. It's doing amazing on Spotify. It's doing like 100,000 streams a day, and we've got over 500,000 listeners which have come in just because of that one song. So I'm delighted.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've been releasing music under the Alonestar name for a while. How have you? Yeah. How have you evolved as a musician?
It was my first Alonestar physical EP that I released. Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying?
That's all right. I was just saying, how have you evolved since the start under the Alonestar name through till today?
Oh, massively. I mean, I'm singing for one on this new album. So this is the first time, I mean, I was kind of singing melodies in my raps and things before, but this album, I'm actually really kind of singing big, songs that I've written. And I'm usually writing songs for other people to sing in my kind of past releases. So this is just such a great feeling to be actually singing as well as rapping. And I've got some production in there too, but it's mainly produced by Herbert Skills, who's just an amazing kind of super producer from Africa, and it's just got a great rhythm and pulse to it, a kind of Caribbean, African, but also a very British sound also. So it's just kind of evolved so much from my early days where I was kind of coming out of Bristol. It's quite bass heavy. I actually started making music with Ed, funny enough, and he was doing his singer-songwriter stuff with his guitar, and I was doing the more kind of drums, hip-hop, and rapping, and we kind of collaborated. So he kind of brought me into his world of kind of the Beatles, Dins Loppy, and whatever he was listening to at that time, which is pretty amazing as a kid. I think it was our parents that kind of were playing the types of music, because my parents were playing like Bob Marley, and kind of I grew up in Bristol, which I was listening to hip-hop and stuff, and obviously in Framlingham, and where he was growing up, his dad's into different music. So it's just quite interesting how we came together with different styles, and that's how I started making music, basically. So I've always been into collaborations all throughout my whole career. You can see that I've collaborated with people from all over the world doing different classical. I've had an opera singer in recently in the Dairy Studios before COVID hit and stuff. So I think coming from Bristol is a very kind of melting pot of different cultures and sounds, and it's got kind of everything from rock to punk to hip-hop, reggae, and all these new genres. So I'm always kind of on the pulse of everything, and I love collaborating with different people, doing rock, rap, things like that. So, yeah, it's been interesting.
Yeah,
it's been
absolutely.
A great journey.
Yeah, I bet. And speaking of getting Ed to be on this track with you alongside Trunkie, was it easy to get him on board, considering you've worked together and you're related, or was he a bit standoffish?
What's great about this is we actually wrote this song together long before he got signed. So this song has been around for a long time.
Okay.
This is a remix. So this is an Afrobeat remix. So it's been a struggle, obviously, at his stage of being the world's biggest, superstar. And, and this is not a new release. This is actually a remix of a release that we did before. And, those were the times when there was no pressure, and, we were just having fun as kids writing songs. And I still had the vocals, and I was like, this sounds really good. Like, imagine let's update it. And it was exactly 10 years ago. And we donated 10% to the NHS, because both my parents work for the NHS, so does Trunkie's. And also it's a perfect time, with the coronavirus kind of COVID pandemic, with everyone, we want to give back to the frontline workers that have really worked so hard and, risking lives and things like that. So I just thought it's a perfect time to not only... The track is about raising up, I wrote it about raise your hands in the air like at a party, it's a big party song, but really this new version is kind of, the new verses are about raising up, communities, raising up your kids, your family, raising up, underprivileged areas, and helping each other as in this pandemic as a planet, basically. So there's kind of like references to also, to raising up things, not just your hands in the air and have a party, but we do want to have a party when it's over for the NHS, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
so,
most definitely.
It's exciting. Yeah, so that's what the new track's about. It's a 10-year anniversary remix, and so proud of it. So we've got Ed on it still, so there wasn't any problems there. So yeah, thanks to Ed for being on the track, being the the awesome dude he is, and yeah, it's been fantastic. I'm really, really excited. And it's early days yet. We have a few more remixes coming out, so look out for those also.
Good. And are we gearing up to anything in particular? Maybe another EP?
Who, me or Ed?
You.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. Yeah, well, we've got this. Yeah, sorry. I've got a new EP out now. It's called Sunshine and Rain, which we've just released, which this track's on. The next single is called Keep On Moving, and it features an amazing artist from Trinidad called Kojo Regault. And the next release after that is called At the Beach, which is my favourite song on the EP, and it features a Bristol girl called Kayla Kelly. She's absolutely amazing, and they're fantastic songs, so look out for those. They're actually out now on Spotify and Apple, so you can see them. And then the next step is when the pandemic's over, we're looking at going over to Jamaica to shoot a few videos. So hopefully around December, if it's all, if everything's okay to travel and everything. So that's the next plan, so we can get some visuals out for the videos. Yeah.
Nice, and I'm sure you can't wait to be performing live again.
Absolutely, that's one thing I've missed so much is being on stage and performing live with a crowd. We've got a little virtual tour we're going to kind of do. And some streaming that we're talking about doing up until we can actually perform, but I do miss the stage absolutely, and that's one thing that you actually realise. Sometimes you go on tour and you're like, oh god, the grind of the tour is quite heavy, but you miss it. It's really something that I miss is being on stage. But I've just been creative, really. Stayed at home. I've got my home studio, and I've just been writing and making music, and I've got a couple of albums in the vault. So it's been great. It's been fantastic, very creative, and a lot of fun.
Yeah. So knowing that you've got a lot of music in the pipelines, I'm sure you'll be looking forward to releasing that over the course of the next year or two.
Absolutely. I mean, I've got so many songs and collaborations now. All my favourite artists. I've got Capleton and Sizzler, Sean Kingston. Hopefully, is coming on the track. Shatawale. We also just hit number 16 in the Billboard charts yesterday for the compilation album Tropical House Cruises to Jamaica, which is a massive achievement because it's on the compilation charts. So we're up against like Beyonce's new compilation and also Disney's compilation and things like that. So to have a kind of reggae hip hop compilation album that's just hitting the Billboard US charts is just such a great thing. After going number one in about a week, it was just like, it's blowing my mind. So I'm so happy right now, and I'm excited about all my new features on the next EP. So yeah, it's exciting times really. So really, really looking forward to releasing more music.
Yeah, absolutely, fantastic. Well, Jethro, it's been great having a chat with you.
You too. Thank you for having me.